Welcome to the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, and evolve. Sister, spiritual inspiration shared through the arts. Sister, spiritual inspiration shared through Ayana. My brothers and sisters, I want to welcome you this evening to the platform on the Sister Speak Show. I am Ayana, the host, creator, and producer of the Sister Speak Show. I want to welcome all of my first-time listeners and welcome back all of my regular listeners. Yes, you are listening live to the platform. The platform where we focus on entrepreneurs, educators, fashion designers. We also focus on creative artists, community advocates, influencers. We just like to cover that aspect of our brothers and sisters. So when you listen to the platform, be prepared for wisdom, for inspiration, to hear greatness, to be, completely inspired by our brothers and our sisters who are on the grind, who are fulfilling their purposes and their passions. We believe in highlighting our brothers and sisters and giving them the encouragement that they need and providing a platform that they need in order for them to be extra successful. My brothers and sisters, you are in for a treat this evening. Oh yes, we do have a very special guest that will be calling in, and we'll get right into that. But this is what we have to do. First, I'm going to explain to you what the Sister Speak Show is about. Then we're going to take a few commercial breaks, and then we'll be right back. We're going to dive into it, and we're going to be focusing on the fashion industry, apparel, and textile. Designing, to be exact. My brothers and my sisters, I hope you're having a wonderful evening so far. It is hotter than fish grease right now, where we are recording live in Dallas, Texas. I'm talking about hot. Like, I'm sweating just thinking about how hot it is. Oh no, I'm sorry. That's actual real sweat because it really is hot. I hope wherever you are, no matter where you're listening from, that the weather is conducive to your liking, my brothers and sisters. Anyway, this is what we're going to do. We'll be right back after these commercial breaks.
Listening to the Sister Speak Show is even easier now with the new abilities available from Spreaker Skill on Amazon Alexa. With Spreaker on Alexa, you can now listen to the Sister Speak Show from even more places from all around the world. You also have navigation control, fast forward and rewind podcast to make sure you never miss a second of your favorite show. And then you can ask for show recommendations like the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, and evolve. Brothers and sisters, we want you to listen live and on demand to the Sister Speak Show. There are 6 segments dedicated to serving you, my brothers and sisters. We have the platform, coming to the stage, the culture climate, the laugh line, the tour, and the search effort. Oh, the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. A talk show for great minds that create, inspire, and evolve. On the platform on the Sister Speak Show from Dallas, Texas, my special guest will be Brandon Crenshaw. Brandon is an apparel and textile designer. I need you to listen live at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time as we dive right into the fashion industry and how he contributes to the fashion industry with his dope designs and his creative ideas. The platform where we focus on everything from entrepreneurs to educators on the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action. Man, music is here on the tour on the Sister Speak Show. Starting this Friday, listen live at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time to fresh music. That's right, we're going to be featuring these dope, phenomenal, independent artists on the Sister Speak Show starting this Friday, May 4th, on the tour where we cover every aspect of the music industry. So don't forget to listen live through Spreaker on the Sister Speak Show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action.
Welcome back. You are listening live to the platform on the Sister Speak Show. I am your host, Ayana, and that's right, my brothers and my sisters, apparel and textile designer, the Brandon Crenshaw is our very special guest. I'm so excited about the fact that he's going to be calling in, definitely showing some local love to the Dallas area. Dallas, stand up. We are definitely in the building. Okay, so this is what we're going to do, my brothers and sisters. You know, I was just thinking about, I first need to tell you about the Sister Speak Show in just a little bit, just a little bit more detail, and then we'll move on because I have a quick video that I want to play for you that's concerning the fashion industry. It's very important that we keep you all wise and we keep you aware. So now that you know that there are 6 segments on the Sister Speak Show, not only that, within those 6 segments, my brothers and sisters, you can catch special guests, interviews, live performances, in-studio interviews, and live on-location reports. The special guests who will be on the Sister Speak Show are dynamic, and they are impacting the communities with their passions. The Sister Speak Show is a talk show that will keep your mind and your soul informed, energized, as well as encouraged, because we love to focus on encouragement. Not only that, my brothers and sisters, not only will we do that for you, but we are also a cultural renaissance platform that influences a climate that is conducive to who you are and who you should be. No reckless entertainment, just responsible listening, nourishment. We don't go dumb. We go wisdom on the Sister Speak Show. Now that you understand that you're listening to probably a place where you can really just sit back and say la, just really feel at ease. We're going to get right into it. Brothers and sisters, when we talk about the fashion industry, there are so many different levels to it. And so with our special guest coming on this evening, we'll be able to hear his perspective as well as how he contributes to the fashion industry. And I know, like you, hopefully you like to clean up well and you like to have good garments on you. So we just want to, really just dive into all of what he has to encounter and the layers of his grind that make his brand be what it is, my brothers and sisters. But, before we, get more into what my brother does, because I really want him to just teach us, terminology and everything else like that, I found a clip, and this clip is about the fashion industry and racism within the fashion industry, and how hard it is for the brothers and sisters to basically make it, how hard it is to really just be able to get in there and do their thing. So I found a clip from Channel 4 News, and this is Naomi Campbell talking about racism in, the fashion industry. And I was like, okay, well, let's just get right into it. Here we go, brothers and sisters.
Are you essentially accusing the industry that you've done very well in of being racist?
No, I'm saying the act of not choosing models of color is racist. So we're not calling them racist. We're saying the act is racist. And I'm also saying that they may not intentionally know, but they do choose. They hire casting directors, they hire stylists, and they are now the ones that choose the models, not so much the designer anymore. So it's not directly the designer, but it does affect their house and their brand.
So what you're saying is that over 82% of last year's walks on fashion runways in New York, in New York Fashion Week, were white models and just 6% black. 6%
black and 9% Asian.
And is this worse than it was when you went into the business, 27 years ago?
Yes, it was. It is. Sorry, because when I started modelling, I did Yves Saint Laurent, I did Alaya, Gianni Versace. There was a great balance of models and colour.
But you're a world-famous supermodel. Why can't you go up to Victoria Beckham?
Who says I haven't?
And what does Victoria Beckham say?
I haven't gone up to Victoria Beckham. But who says I haven't gone up to designers that I am friendly with and said, hey, why are you not using more models of colour? I have.
And what do they say? What do your friends say?
You're right, but it doesn't happen.
You're the face that launched 1,000 magazine covers. Doesn't your success prove that black models can be extremely successful?
We don't want them to hide behind the aesthetic of when they say, well, the show is going to be this aesthetic this season. We want them just to allow balanced diversity. And yes, I have worked for 27 years, almost 28, and it's very upsetting to me. It's heartbreaking to be sitting here in 2013 even having this interview.
And you've chosen, well, you've named really big brands, Calvin Klein, Armani, Prada. Has it got to the point where you will not work for companies that you think are involved in racist
Well, I'm
acts?
lucky enough that I work on television now, and I still do modeling as well, obviously. And I'm not trying to accuse and point fingers and embarrass anyone. We're just basically trying to say, be aware.
And does the British end of things particularly disappoint you, given that you're Streatham born and bred, that you're naming Alexander McQueen,
I'm not
naming
pointing at one
Mulberry,
country. We're pointing to the fashion industry as a whole.
but you're naming Alexander McQueen, you're naming Mulberry, you've named Victoria Beckham.
Yeah, because they haven't used any models of colour.
And how will you measure success from your campaign? The fact that you've written to all these fashion
New York
councils.
New York shows have just finished. Huge difference. Big difference. So many more models of colour. 6 black models in Calvin Klein. There were none last year. So things are changing.
You're quite famous for having Nelson Mandela as a role model, and I'm wondering whether you feel this is your campaign now, that this is what you want to do.
I feel this is our campaign. And as I said, Beth Ann Hardison is a woman that I've looked up to and known since I'm 15 years old.
This is your fellow black.
Yeah. And Iman, also the same, with huge respect to both. And I feel if I'm able to open my mouth, which is something Mr. Mandela did tell me I could do when I was younger, if you can help, you use your mouth to help others, do so. If you can speak to help others.
Because, I mean, people, most recently you've been in the headlines for the whole Charles Taylor
I don't want to talk about that.
business. No, the
I'm not
only
here to
reason
talk
I
about
asked...
I don't care about that. This is fashion. This is what I'm known to do. This is my job. When it comes to my job, I don't think anyone can fault me.
I just wondered whether you were worried that
I don't
it
care
made
what
it
people
harder
think
for you
about
to
me.
speak out.
I don't care what people
because you've
think
been
about
criticised
me
in the past.
as their opinion. They're allowed to have their opinion. But what they cannot fault me on is my job. And this is my business, fashion. This is what I'm in. And this is what I see.
You have a reputation, rightly or wrongly, for being quite an angry person.
I'm not here to talk about me. I'm here to talk about balanced diversity.
No,
So I think I will finish here as I need to get back to my set and finish my TV show.
Let me finish my question. I just wondered whether there's a good anger and a bad anger, and this is actually a good anger to have.
It's not about, I'm not angry. And I don't like the thing of the angry black woman either. This is not what this is about. We are just, you asked to interview me because we've done very nice interviews in America, and you want to know what it's all about. So we're telling you what it's all about. We feel passionate. Feeling passionate about something doesn't mean you have to be angry.
What is your message to finish to the London fashion industry? The most important week of the year.
I have faith in London because London the British Fashion Council were the first fashion council to respond. And so
what did they say to you?
It wasn't to me, it was a letter sent to Beth Ann. And it was a positive response. So I feel really optimistic about London. I think London's going to do the right thing and we're going to see a lot more models of colour on the runway. That's how I feel about London.
Well, she let you all know, didn't she? Ooh, goodness. Naomi Campbell definitely handled herself really well within that interview. And, you have to be able to, whenever they're coming for you in an interview, you got to be able to say, look, you cannot be afraid to address, an issue and stay on topic. That's the one thing that we have to be able to do. And I think that the fact that there is, racism in the industry is just something that's, not new. And so then I found another clip because I want to talk more about what she said, but I want to also stay focused with these clips. I found another one about Tommy Hilfiger addressing his racist comment and rumors, and this was on the Wendy Williams show. Let's go.
And turned it into a fashion empire worth billions. And now he's telling his amazing story in his new book. It's called American Dreamer, My Life in Fashion and Business. Please welcome to our show, Tommy Hilfiger. Thank you very much. I don't think that we've ever met before. So it's a pleasure to meet you.
Well, I'm a big fan.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I would like to give you some Tommy Hilfiger shoe cam. People like to know how moguls are. Yeah,
These are Tommy Hilfiger shoes.
put both feet on those feet.
These are...
There you go. There you go. I didn't know that you do shoes, so now you do the full thing. It's clothing, it's underwear, it's shoes, it's outerwear, it's eyewear.
Everything.
Everything.
It's a lifestyle brand.
Lifestyle brand.
So anything and everything.
Is this you?
This is me.
Yes. Well, beautiful. So, where do we get started? I mean, Tommy grew up in a large family, 9 siblings.
Yeah.
And that $150, you took that and did what with it?
Well, a couple of high school friends and I bought 20 pairs of jeans and sold them to our friends.
Yes.
And then opened a small shop when we were teens.
That was the People's Shop.
People's Place.
The People's Place in upstate New York.
Elmira, New York.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then from that, you just, well, there are a lot of course, stories in between, but you exploded on the fashion scene in hip-hop in the 90s. I equate, because I was here in New York, I equate Grand Poobah with Tommy Hilfiger, the rapper Grand Poobah.
He did Grand Poobah did a song with Mary J. Blige, and they started rapping about my clothes. Mm-hmm. But then Snoop Dogg came to us because he was on SNL, and he wanted to wear my clothes. When he wore the clothes, it just blew up. And then everybody, we started using celebrities in the ads. So I used Aaliyah and Usher, and I met this girl named Beyonce who was, seriously, she was 16 years old, and she was in Destiny's Child. My brother Andy said, we're doing a fashion show at Macy's. I've got this group who perform while we do the show. So Beyonce and the girls got on stage. They performed wearing Tommy. And I looked at her and I looked at my brother. I said, she's going to be a superstar. So, it wasn't just me. I think everybody else agreed.
So your brother Andy, because I never met you, but I met Andy several times.
Yeah.
He was almost like, I consider him like the street liaison out of the office and in the streets for your brand. Is he the only one of your siblings who's ever worked with you?
No, I have, out of my 8 brothers and sisters, quite a few have worked for me.
Has hip-hop hurt your brand or helped it?
Look, it propelled my brand into heights that I never dreamed I would ever reach.
Well, because with that I have to say, it was 20 years ago, and we've never had this conversation, and I know people want to know, and maybe you've addressed it before. They say you went on Oprah with it. I didn't see that episode, but you're here on Wendy. So about 20 years ago, it was said that you said in some sort of public forum that if you had known, first of all, that you didn't make your Hilfiger clothes for blacks, Hispanics, or Asians, and if you had known that we were going to wear them, then you wouldn't have made them such high quality. And
that would be pretty stupid, wouldn't it?
And then, well, I'll finish. And then it was also said that you didn't like the way hip hop was wearing your clothing because back then everything was big and fitted, and you made things for elite white people, is what it said.
Well, when I started my brand, I was 18 years old, and we opened a shop called People's Place. It was for the people. I've always wanted my brand to be offered to a broad range of people, everybody. I wanted to build a big lifestyle brand globally for everybody.
So you never said never said anything like that.
Everybody said that. The rumor was that I was on Oprah, and I said that if I had known certain people who wear my clothes, I never would have been a designer, and I never would have made quality clothes or whatever.
And then they said that Oprah kicked you off the set.
That's not true. Oprah invited me after she heard the rumor because we're friends, and she said, Tommy, I know you really well. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Come on the show. Let's dispel this rumor. And she said it's a BFL, a big fat lie.
Well, maybe.
Come on.
Well, then where did it come from? Was Ralph Lauren trying to sabotage you?
That's a joke. That's a joke. Ralph Lauren is a real gentleman. I don't think he would ever even think about doing anything like that. But somebody came up with this rumor, and it spread over the internet, and it hurt my heart and soul.
Did it hurt your business? Because you disappeared for a moment.
My business continued to grow in all different areas, but maybe it would have grown better and faster. Look, Russell Simmons came to me as a friend. He said, Tommy, I really need help. I want to start a brand. Can you help me? I helped him start Fat Farm. A guy by the name of P. Diddy came to me when he was Puff Daddy. He said, Tommy, I want to start this brand called Sean John.
Right.
I set him up. I helped him start his whole brand.
So none of that was true. So now that rumor is dispelled. And now, Tommy is back, and Gigi Hadid is one of the famed models modeling for him. Yeah.
She's amazing.
What kind of wonderful jewels can we find in this book? Is this for people who would like to have fashion lines and they want to know more? Or is this for, people who just want to have business? What kind of stories?
My brothers and my sisters, you are listening live to the to the platform on the Sister Speak show, where we cover every aspect of entrepreneurs to educators, creative artists, urban authors, as well as fashion designers, creators, and the such and the likes. Brothers and sisters, when I listened to that interview, the one, let's just talk about Tommy Hilfiger, all I heard was my best friends are black. My best friend is black. I have black friends. That's what I heard. A lot of times, just because you can cite a black person's name does not still take away from the fact that there are some private conversations that you probably have had at your dinner table with people who look just like you. And, I remember hearing that whole rumor about what was supposedly said, allegedly said. And the thing that strikes it to be odd to me is the fact that those comments are the same comments that the tobacco industry has said about our brothers and our sisters. They said that we target the poor, the black, the weak, the ignorant, the Hispanic, the uneducated. And these are records that are documented because I used to work for an anti-tobacco industry organization. It was called TIGHT, Tobacco Industry Gets Hammered by Teens. And so, one thing that I also find to be disturbing is that Tommy Hilfiger made a lot of money and our people put that money into his pockets. And what is so disturbing about that is the fact that there are several black-owned fashion lines, clothing wear, streetwear, fashion designers, stylists, who are pushing their line, sewing their own clothes, learning the craft, learning the trade, really dedicated towards the industry because this is their passion. And we do not put the money into their pockets. And I want to know why. Why don't we support these brands in our own village more? Okay, you got FUBU, you got Sean John, and you have all these other type of clothing brands, but we're talking about the other fashion designers and moguls who may not get the type of notoriety that they deserve, but they should. This man has made several millions of dollars off of our people. And, a lot of our people had seen the clothing before they had ever seen the designer. And so it was an automatic win. And then when you want to take more money out of a community that's already somewhat, I'm not going to say, all communities are impoverished. It's just that the black dollar is very complex, if you will. And so, didn't see Tommy's face, saw the clothes, then you see entertainers wearing it and you're hooked. You purchase it. But then you hear that, oh, Tommy doesn't like you. Allegedly, this is not the first time that somebody of his nation has, been accused of making these comments. And we sometimes, as brothers and sisters, love to try to play with people that don't want to play with us. We'll protest about it. We'll march about it. We'll cry about it. We'll do sit-ins about it. We'll have workshops, conferences, and the such about people who don't want to interact with you, don't want to play with you, don't want you in their neighborhoods, don't want you sitting at their restaurant counters, don't want you in their vicinity, don't want you to cross the railroad tracks, okay? And when it comes to the fashion industry, because our brothers and sisters are very beautiful, kings and queens, no doubt. You know, I mean, a beautiful sight to look at without any lusting. You know, they definitely are. And, you know, it is sad that even in 2018, y'all, 2018, our brothers and sisters are still trying to get in the door and ask why. Why? And, you know, I listened to the argument. You know, we deserve the same rights. You know, we have the right to model and be featured in magazines and walk down the runway and all these other type of things. You know, and it's just like, but what about our own runways? What about our own, like folks, you know, it's just like, if they don't want us there, humbly remove yourself and then focus on creating another platform. I just would love for us as the village to just like, look, there are people who don't like you. There are people who don't like you in your tribe, you know, and I'm speaking to the 12 tribes of Israel. There are people who don't like you. And if their clothes are not designed for you to wear, then move on. There are several undiscovered, overlooked, Black-owned fashion designs, period. And we need to stop making the rich richer and the poor poor. I don't know what it is that has come in between us as a people to where we cannot unify. I don't know what it is. We can come together for certain things, and I just want us to come together for all the things that serve us good righteously. So when it comes to the fashion industry, my brothers and sisters, understand this. How you look says a lot about you. And there are brothers and sisters who are apparel as well as textile designers, fashion designers, who would love for you to support them. Would love for you to give 10% of your interest. Y'all know about your 10%, don't you? You know, it's a common percentage. There are several, and I'll say it again, textile, apparel, and fashion designers, clothing designers, that are waiting on your dollar, my brothers and sisters. Instead of always supporting people who you do not know and do not like you and do not care about you or your situation and only want you to just give away your dollar, think about these things, brothers and sisters. Think about it. Calling in live to the Sister Speak show is my very special guest, the Brandon Crenshaw. Everybody, give him a round of applause. Hey, how are you? That's good. Okay, and so your day's going well?
Oh, yeah.
That's what's up. Brothers and sisters, I promise you we are in for a special treat. You are listening live to the platform, and the special guest of the hour, the man of the hour, has called in, and we're going to get right into it. The Brandon Crenshaw, apparel as well as textile designer. So when did you fall in love with fashion?
I gotta say around 12.
Okay, and what happened at 12 years old that sparked your interest?
Well, I've always had a passion for clothes and fashion and stuff, but I wasn't aware of it.
Uh-huh.
And then one day my mom, she was just like, "Yo, you need to figure out what you want to do right now." You know what I'm saying? You need to figure it out right now at 12. And then I thought about it, and I was like, damn, what do I want to do? Like, it has to, I got to be able to be fly every day. It has to, I got to be able to wear what I want. I got to be around beautiful women.
Yes.
And I have to be creative. And so that's where I narrowed it down to fashion.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started, I have to say, like, maybe 2 years later, I started interning for a tailor, local tailor in Little Rock. I'm from Little Rock, Arkansas.
Shout out.
Right?
Shout out. Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. And so started interning for him, and the journey just started, from there.
And so, one thing I've noticed with a lot of the special guests who come on to the Sister Speak show is that it's always something that happens in between 12 and let's just say 16 years old, where something, that something begins to stir up on the inside. And, they talk about the parents being involved and putting you into this activity, or you just picking up the pen, or, whatever it is. And I just think that that's such a blessed age phase to go through, to where you start to kind of feel what your purpose is, and you have a journey ahead of you, because you have the character development, and you gotta definitely perfect your passions. But it's just like amazing to just kind of like for your mother to say to you at 12, you need to figure it out.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to say. Like, having her asking those type of questions early on made it easy. I felt like if she wasn't, asking me things like that, what I want to be when I grow up, and, take that serious, I wouldn't have caught on, as quick.
Yes, and shout out to your mother for that. That's a beautiful thing.
Hell yeah.
And I just want to say, just to the listening audience, because I know a lot of you all are parents, and you still have, whether your child, even though they may not even be a child as far as just the age is concerned, but no matter what, you must be able to pour righteous seeds into your children, and what you say to them is critical and it is crucial. Paying attention to them, not forcing them to do what you didn't do. Not forcing them to go down an avenue just to make you look good, but allowing what the Lord put on the inside of them to manifest and have its perfect way. And that is where you will see joy come within your children, because one thing that I've noticed is that a lot of parents love to focus on the scripture, honor your mother and your father. And that is fine, because it is written. And if it was written, it is for us to do. But right underneath there, it says, parents, do not provoke your children to anger.
No.
And so we need to understand that this is not a situation where you cannot disregard your children's feelings. So you got to really be, when you have them, you got to stay focused on them. That's just what you get. They're here now, and you got to really pour into them. So shout out to your mother for doing that. Okay, so 12 years old, you're like, okay, I want to be fly. I want to be this. I want to make sure that I look good and everything. So at 12 years old, what was the style back then?
Oh, man. I got to say food first. It was... fashion was in a fun place, especially from a kid's perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I had some of everything, Avery X, of course, Tommy and Polo. Tommy was relevant at that time. Back then, Nautica, Eastland boots. Man, platform, the on and on. I even wore Snoop Dogg stuff. I even wore Outkast.
Yeah.
Back then, it was in a great place, just like it is right now.
And the one thing that I wanted to say is just because I had just played a clip about Tommy Hilfiger. He was on the Wendy Williams show, and she was addressing some of the rumors that allegedly Tommy Hilfiger said, and
those were rumors.
And so once he said that, he didn't say these things and everything else, is just like, I want to know.
And then, all of the black people in New York stood up for him. They stood by his side too and was like, hey, you're not even like that, because he started off selling his stuff in the hood in New York out of his car. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was really dope. And during, when those rumors came about, a lot of the black people, from Harlem or whatever, they were like, nah, that's not him. But it hurt his sales bad.
You know what he said? Actually, he said that there was that it didn't do, he still was able to do well. you just had, of course, that backlash. And I think that comes with it. So one thing that, just made me just think about is just that, there are so many amazing fashion designers that are our brothers and sisters. And the black dollar is powerful, but it is not used in the proper places that it should be. And it's complex and it's almost prejudice. And I would say that the black dollar can almost be like a bigot towards its own people. It's very finicky. So what do you think is the solution towards, or how can we, get the black dollar to support people like you and other dope clothing artists who are out here on the grind, who have created something for us to wear?
Yeah, there's two ways. Is first, buy black. Well, that might be second. First would be we only are 1% of the money in the world, so we need more really entrepreneurs right now starting businesses in not just fashion, but in every field possible, even all the way down to farming. You know what I'm saying? We need more black people just grabbing their destiny by the horns and just going for theirs, whatever it is, whatever they want to do, first off. And then the second would be the buy black.
Yes. I appreciate that, and I thank you for sharing that. Brothers and sisters... wait, hold on 1 second. Hold that thought. Brothers and sisters, you are listening live to the platform on the Sister Speak Show. My special guest is the Brandon Crenshaw. Okay, brother, go ahead.
All right, I also got to say, if you're not an entrepreneur, like, that's not your thing, like, then jump on a black business that you can see going places, or with the talent that you do have, you can actually push it to where it needs to be. You know what I'm saying? That's also important. You can be a role player. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yes. Either. Yes, and that's what I like about what you do. So let's get into apparel and textile designing, because I would like for you to educate myself as well as the listening audience, even if the listening audience may know, we need to understand terminologies and just how this entire process goes. I took the time out to...
All right, it's simple. It's easier than you think.
All right, go ahead, break it down.
I don't even know where to start. I mean, what do you...
Okay, so this is what I was going to say. It's just like, I was looking at a video about textile designing and, just kind of just getting more familiar about what it is that you do. Now, part of it is I only looked about maybe at 5% of what I was looking at, because I wanted to just hear it from your perspective. So what, for the listening audience, what is textile design?
Textile is basically fabric design. Like, I refer to that when I'm doing like stuff for homes, like throw pillows or blankets. Those prints, we call those textiles. That's just like a fancy term for like patterns or for the most part, that's what it is. Or that's when I do home stuff. I plan on doing some on my own very soon.
That's good. It's all about, stages. It's all about a process. And so how did you learn in particular how to create textiles?
Okay. I was interning here in the design district for a man named Masood. What is the name of the company? Hold on. Anyway, his name is Masood. That's the owner, the founder. He has like this really, really dope. It's gonna come back to my head. The name of the company. Yeah, it's a small business. It's an Indian guy, man, super cool, has great taste. But he brought me in. I had never done textiles before, and I showed him. I came from just a strictly menswear background, so I go in there. I interview. I showed him my stuff, and like, man, I can teach you this. Like, I want you to use your fashion, like, mentality or your discipline and I'm going to teach you how to transition it into home. And I interned for him for, like, I want to say, like, 5, maybe 6 months.
Mm-hmm.
And I just learned through him. But basically, I was designing it the same way that I do apparel.
Okay.
I didn't use a different program because he that's another reason why he brought me in. Like, the program that he was using is a textile program. It's strictly for that. You can't use it for anything else. And it's like really, really basic. You can only do so much with it.
Mm-hmm.
And with the program that's used to design apparel today in CAD or whatever, you can do anything. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just limited to one category or one subject.
Mm-hmm.
And so that was another reason. Yeah, that was kind of the main reason I think was for me to teach him. Like, you wanted me to teach him this program that I use. And in turn, he was going to teach me what he could offer, which is textile design. You know, it was like a creative trade.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah, that's what's up. No, that's what's up.
Yeah.
No, I appreciate that. You know, I like what it is that you do because I just feel.
I'm trying to think of the business. I want to shout them out because they have awesome work. They help Neiman's design, actually. And he has great clientele out here.
It'll come to you.
I'm going to be thinking about that.
Yeah, that's all right. No, don't trip. And so, you know, when it comes to when it comes to apparel and design, what are some of your favorite patterns to work with?
As far as silhouettes or like
okay, now pause. Let's talk about this.
Pause.
What is a silhouette? Now, what is a silhouette?
Like it's the difference. Like, for example, t-shirt, hoodie, shirts.
Okay.
And those are different silhouettes.
Okay.
But like, you're talking about graphic wise, right?
I'm talking about, anything that you find to be the easiest to work with. And, that's why I said you're going to be educating us. We're talking about silhouette.
I mean, right now, with streetwear being where it is, it's in a beautiful place. High-end brands are hiring streetwear designers right now. We're relevant, I mean, it's just as basic as a t-shirt. Moving here to Dallas made me, it also made me realize what type of designer I was, too. Like, before I moved here, I was designing, like, very classic, timeless pieces. Mm-hmm. But I wasn't really satisfied back then because I would look at them and be like, that's something insane. Mm-hmm. But, like, when I moved here, that's when I realized, like, yo, that's what you are, like, a graphic fashion designer. So, like, I am kind of graphic heavy lately, but I do like putting them on, like, classic silhouettes. I'm going to do just a little bit of that with this next collection I do with one shirt. Will kind of show that, like, taking, like, classic, like, I don't want to give too much away. But, yeah. Just mixing graphics with classical pieces. Long story short.
No, I appreciate that. And so, what are some of the do's and don'ts when it comes to fashion in 2018 for men and for women?
I'm not, as far as style or business?
With style. Well, we're just going to talk about style. When it comes to fashion, what are some of the fashion, that ain't going to work?
I don't look at people like that.
Okay.
First of all, like, everybody's in style. Everybody got their own style.
Okay.
Everybody got their own point of view, and I respect everybody's point of view. Mm-hmm. So I can't say where I don't. The do is to have fun.
Okay.
To have fun, like, and even if it's, like, very avant-garde or, like, kind of a little bit over the top, just do it anyway. If it makes you feel confident, swaggy inside, and, like, you feel like this is about to be a great fucking day, like, that's a do every day, all day.
Brandon, you mean to tell me you have never ever seen somebody with something on that was just out of line?
Oh, man.
Brandon, you mean to tell me in your years of living, you ain't never been anywhere in a public place?
Been like people who wore stuff that wasn't for that particular setting, you know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Like, I'm at, let's say, a party where it requires me to wear a blazer, and, you know, I see, like, other, like, rebellion, per se. I mean, as far as, I don't know. I don't want to judge people, because people might look at me and be like, man, you over the top. You know what I'm saying? So,
Brandon, listen. People look at you and they see that you are styled and you're fitted and you're cleaned up well. I mean, only...
It's through habit, though. It's through, like, repetition. And I'm having
yes.
fun, though, at the same time.
Right,
like,
right.
Clothes,
right.
I can be who I want to be.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes. And you understand that when you walk outside that you are a commercial, you're a billboard. And I know I've seen some things that have just been wrong. And
Tell me about it.
Okay. All right. The other day, I saw some stretch pants that were out of control. And I saw some stretch pants that was out of control. Okay. Yes, I saw some stretch pants that had stretched as much as they could. And I also saw some slippers that were made out of Chewbacca fur with the stretch pants. And I then saw an old school number 5, when people wear a t-shirt that says the numbers on the number 5, it said number 5, it was pink. And that was what the outfit was. Okay. Weave was not combed.
They're going for them, spring bright color vibes. Well, it sounded like some, she had some Puma joints on.
She didn't have on no Puma. No, those were not Puma. Those were Fluma. Those were not Puma. I'm trying to tell you, they were made out of Chewbacca fur. First of all, that wasn't the Rihanna Fenty fur. No. What I'm trying to tell you is that I believe that there are people who know how to clean up very well, and that if I...
Another thing, you bring up a great point. Like, you gotta know where to go.
Yeah.
And you gotta know where to shop.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
Like, you can get fluff for the low.
There you go. There you go.
There are there's a place out here called Vintage DFW. I want to say that's their name, but they have like very dope secondhand stuff. Like the God Chooses Wisely. Where you put in there and you can get shirts $5. You know what I'm saying? And it's fly.
Yes.
It's a lot of those type of stores around. You have a store called Trap Boutique. Okay. They got some really, really expensive stuff, but then they got stuff for the low too. Shout out to them. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot.
It is.
That's why I say this too. Let me say this, because if you bring up another good point, like it's no excuses out here really. Yeah. Why you shouldn't be how you want to be, because there's so many ways. You got ASOS. You know what I'm saying? That sell stuff really, really cheap. And then they have, some days they'll have a sale 70% off. It's like crazy sales, you know? Like, it's all types of ways.
Yes, there is. And the thing about it is, being able to know that there's nothing wrong with shopping on a budget and shopping on eBay, exactly. And shopping in places where, some people, you have to be willing to forsake society and just go for what you like and go for what you want to put on. But I do feel like the way you carry yourself, the way you present yourself can make something that might be okay to put on not have the best range of poppiness because of how you carry yourself. Because some people literally just roll out of bed and go with their day. And versus, the whole grooming, taking a bath, getting yourself together, and just really maximizing the potential of looking your best and feeling your best. And the way you carry yourself obviously says a lot about yourself. And I think that we all have been, not all of us, but some of us have been to Walmart. And, there are sometimes some people who just, they don't care. They're not worried about what you think or anybody else. And it's a madhouse. And, you try not to stare. You try to kind of just keep the thoughts to yourself, and I'm one person, I'm the type of person where it's written on my face. So I have to really just, I gotta do the mannequin, Brandon, when I'm out in public, because my face and my eyes say it all. But, a lot of times you just see just like, come on, sister, you didn't have to put that on, and it's just, and then it's accompanied by, for whatever it is, because I don't know why they are having a bad day. A lot of things go on. We all go through trials and tribulations. So I'm not here to talk about their...
Some people can care less, about their appearance. It is what it is.
Oof. One of my biggest, let's talk about this, because I'm going to talk about my pet peeves. What are some of your pet peeves when you, about style? What are some things that you just cannot stand to see together? I know you said you're not a judge, but there has to be something that just, you just like, please don't.
These are small pet peeves, but like not being as confident as they should be. Especially if they are organically flawed, that's kind of whack. Let's see. Things that are, how can I say this? Like, I do see this sometimes, even in the workplace, like too, like Southern churchy, like the weird shaped suit, and then with the wrong socks. That's kind of a small pet peeve. But like in their head, he could have been sauced up. So I give him a pass.
That's so true.
I personally wouldn't do it.
Brandon, that is so funny. And talk about that. School the brothers on, the right socks to wear with their click clacks.
Some guys be tripping. Like they just, I don't know. It's okay to have a sock to pop, but like the colors have to flow in harmony like a song.
Yeah.
Like you can't make your sock too so far away from the outfit, if that makes sense.
Yes. No, it makes all the sense.
You can have a sock that pop, but it still has to flow with them.
No, I get it. The worst nightmare I have ever seen, this is a true story, because I lived in California for 25 years, and I will never forget the day that I was going to Safeway, and the top flight security was there, and he had on some athletic socks and some church shoes. And I just said, now, wait a minute. Now, just wait a minute.
Hold on, you said the security?
I said the top flight security, yes.
He's going to be on his feet all day, you know what I'm saying? He'll get a pass just off for that.
For wearing athletic socks with click clacks? Who is he chasing? How does the security guard wear church shoes and athletic socks?
They do have dress socks, for, like that has extra padding or whatever. They do cost a little bit more. Okay. But, for his job, and he top flight every day, like 5, maybe 6 days of the week. Yeah, he looking for that sock I just said. He just ain't found it yet. You know what I'm saying?
That is so funny. Yeah, I couldn't do it because the the high water pants with the white socks. I thought I was looking at Billie Jean from the bottom. I didn't know. I was like, hey, I'm not your lover.
Yeah,
I don't know what's up.
I can see how you got there. Yeah.
It was Billie Jean, and I didn't know what was up. I was like, "What's up, Mike?" You're not chasing nobody. Everybody's getting away. You can come to this Safeway because this brother's not chasing you with this outfit on. He's gonna dance after you.
You might have to chase the shower extra. He got them Nike socks on. The Elites. You know?
Yeah. No, that is so funny. But okay, look, I want to play just a quick game with you just to see when it comes to, what you would choose. So it's an either or. So let's do this. Okay. Pinstripe suit or plaid suit?
No, I'll go pinstripe.
Why?
It just looks more clean. It's just a more classy, like, clean look.
Okay. All white party, all black party?
Oh, man, that's hard. I'm going to go all black party.
Okay. Jordans with the tux or dress shoes with the tux?
Dress shoes with the tux.
Why? Okay, now let's go back to the party. Why that party?
Why the black party?
Yeah, why the black party?
That was hard because I like wearing all black and I like wearing all white. I went with the all black because that's just, both of them could be a sexy party. Mm-hmm. But like, I feel like all black. I feel like an all black party would be just as sexy. Okay.
All right. So then you said the dress shoes versus the Jordans. Why the dress shoes?
All right, so back in 2005, I would have did the J's with the tux. Mm-hmm. Like that's what I did at my prom. Like I had the Air Force Ones with the tux. Today, I'm going for a different look, or just naturally, you know what I'm saying, just going for a different look. Mm-hmm. I've already done that, you know what I'm saying. So I'm going with the dress shoe, and yeah.
Okay.
Oh, definitely.
Okay, so outlet or the main store?
Both.
I can't choose both. You either going to the outlets or you going to the gallery, the Galleria.
Well, we at the Galleria anyway. You know what I'm saying? So we'll just go rock with them because they treat me right. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm.
Okay, so are we doing limo or convertible?
I gotta be in that convertible.
Okay, what kind?
If I had to choose?
Yes.
Anything?
Yes.
We're going to go with the Bentley GT. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay, and what color?
That's my matte black.
Okay. Drake or Kendrick Lamar?
Drake.
Why Drake?
I feel like I relate more. You know what I'm saying? I feel like he draws to me more. I like Kendrick too, but Drake music, I go after Drake's music more than Kendrick.
Okay. Cardi B or Cash Doll?
I'm gonna go Cash Doll.
Yeah, you ready, Sid? I was like, oh, come on, Cash Doll. Why Cash Doll?
Flawless.
Wow. Flawless. Let's get into that. Let's talk about Sister Cash Doll. Sister Anitra. So let's talk about it. What makes her flawless?
She represents for the chocolate ladies out there.
Okay. So then butt surgery, natural butt.
Natural.
Why?
All day. It's just God's blessing. And it's just and it's all. I mean, dang, I don't know. I don't want to get. I don't know who's listening, but it's just better long without getting into all the details.
Yes,
it's much better.
Yes. All right. Okay. And so, natural hair, meaning no natural hair weave, literally growing from their scalp or hair weave.
That one I gotta go with both. Yeah.
No, can't go with both. You gotta say either or.
See, I'm open though. your preference on that? Yeah.
This is for the $1 million, Brandon. Okay, so your preference is both. I'll give you that. That's fine.
Please.
Okay. So twin boys or twin girls?
Twin boys.
Why?
Alright, so I don't have kids right now.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like, and this is an honest statement, it might sound crazy, like, I'm honestly ready, like, to have kids right now, mentally.
Mm-hmm.
And I have, like, a whole, like, playbook in quotes ready, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I know my agenda, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The parenting, and it's very well tailored for boys, but and it's also very adjustable if I were to have a girl.
Yes.
So,
yes.
but I would prefer the boys, like, the playbook can really go, you know what I'm saying, can reach its fullest potential,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I appreciate that. And I thank you for playing along with me on this or that. You know, it was nice. I could go deeper, but I'm just going to leave it right there because that was just a little, you know, just to get a little bit closer to who you are and how you think. You are listening live to the platform on the Sister Speak Show. My special guest is Brandon Crenshaw. So, Brandon, let's go ahead and get ready to, you know, we're going to close the interview out. But before we close the interview out, I just want to, you know, give you the floor to share with the listening audience, you know, what you want them to take away from what you have learned thus far with apparel and textile designing, with the industry, and just any words of wisdom that will bless those who are listening, who are interested in pursuing what you're doing, and or just even, you know, just wanting to be an entrepreneur, period. Because, you know, shout out to you for your goals, you know, pursuing your passions, for the hard work and the crafts that you are learning.
And we have fun. You know, I love doing it. It's a lot of fun every day. And it's my advice. I'm going to try to narrow it down. I'm long-winded.
No, go ahead.
My advice to doing this, like, go hard at it and try to... this is a pet peeve of mine. I'm going to go ahead and say this. Like, don't depend on other people to teach you everything. You know, that's major key right there. Like, learn everything yourself. Like, do all the research. Just learn on your own. Learn before you even start designing. Just learn everything you want to learn. Write down the resources that you want and go do the research and find them. They are in arm's reach. That everything is realistic. Nothing is too expensive if you do your homework. Nothing is too hard. The program to use is Adobe Illustrator and Photoshop. But learn more, get more comfortable with Illustrator. Learn how to draw. Illustrator will be you'll learn Illustrator faster if you already know how to draw naturally. And this is like one of my weaknesses. Like, I don't know how to sew, but I understand construction. You know what I'm saying, in patterns and pattern making, but I don't know how to actually sew. Like, I have people who do that for me. But if you can, and to make you, like, really powerful right now, you need to be able to sew and draw and be able to do graphic design. If you can master all three of those, you're going to be a problem. See what else. Watch who you do business with in this field. Do not do... I would say don't do business with anybody. Just do it by yourself. I know that sounds crazy, but it's just the money comes faster than people think. That's not doing it. It comes really fast, and you need to be around some trustworthy people when it's starting to come like that.
Yes.
And I prefer independent. So you can see the money, you can control your money, and there's no excuses, you know what I'm saying? And then there's just no clashing, and, just God knows what can happen, when the money start coming up. It's just like, you can avoid that. That's something that happened to me in the past. I don't wish that on nobody.
Oh,
And,
wow.
having to start over and change your name.
Wow.
You don't want to do that. So, another thing, after you get your name, I know it's expensive to do it, but it's go ahead and incorporate it where you live, state-wise and country-wise, and for the people with money out there that can afford to do it right off the bat, start buying your name in other countries, because people in other countries will steal your name faster than somebody in the country you live in.
Wow.
So that's another gem, and that happened to big and small companies every day.
Wow.
When they try to expand and start selling their stuff in other countries, they get sued because somebody bought their name when they discovered this company on Instagram or Facebook or the internet. Just off of fashion blogging, they bought it in China or Switzerland, Australia, wherever. And, you need to buy it in countries that you wish to sell in or you plan on selling in the future before somebody else does that live over there, and they can basically look at every time you drop, they can just look at what you drop and just repeat it in that other country. That happens all the time. It's happening to Nike right now. They can't stop it. It's with Jordan brand. It's another Jordan brand in China, and Nike ain't making none of that money.
Wow. Wow.
Let's see.
Wow.
Yeah, just trust very little people. Oh, another thing. Only come out with stuff that you are fully confident in. You don't drop to drop. Don't drop to be like, this is drop 15. Don't do that. Make sure it is your best work. Make sure it's quality work, every single time. Quality over quantity. What else? I'll just leave it at that.
I mean, no, you really took us to class and you educated us. I didn't know that Michael Jordan's shoe was being duplicated in China, and Nike, and Nike is not making not a dime.
They tried to sue the company several times. And,
wow.
But what they bought that name at the same time as the original Jordan 1 shoe around that time. And they had it this entire time. Jordan had been, I think that lawsuit ended maybe 3 or 4 years ago.
Wow.
That's public. It's on Google.
Wow.
But, yeah. And then that happened to Hugo Boss, too.
Really?
So Hugo Boss they were selling, and they tried to sell in, I want to say it was China or Japan. And a Hugo Boss, a guy had seen that brand and took the name and started selling Hugo Boss in China. But the thing is, and the founders of the Hugo Boss that me and you know, they were like, man, he making Hugo Boss better than us, and we the original Hugo Boss. So they ended up becoming partners, and that story just grew from there.
That, I mean, it's amazing to me how you can literally be full of joy, full of your passion, full of your gift, and that there is somebody lurking that is willing to steal your, almost like your birthright, if you will. And that sucks. But let me say this to those, because this is happening to artists. I am not only the host of this show, but I do artwork, and I respect the art industry and my fellow artists. And so I see that a lot of artists' work is being duplicated and copied and sold. just even put on products. And this is even coming not only just from outside of our people, even our own people are doing it to us. And it's just like, it's amazing. If
you're gonna do it, you gotta get permission.
You got to, but you do.
Pay a person, like, for example, like, there's a black artist that I'm a really huge fan of. I love his work. He does, like, tattoos on a lot of our black celebrities and entertainers.
Okay.
And so he has this particular art style that I want to put on hoodies, and I want to put on wovens and, like, a few other things. So I just reached out to him, some business. It's like, hey, I've been following you, but I did like fan out a little bit in the email. But I think that's good because it shows, like, you're a genuine fan of their work. You know what I'm saying? So, and I just asked. I was like, hey, can I use this to put on apparel? And then I talked about collaborate. I talked about putting his name on the neck label, blah, blah, blah. And he was like, yeah, let's do it. It's going to cost you this, and that's what it is. And that's respectable, too.
Yes.
And that's how you do it. That's how you got to go about it.
Yes. And we have to respect people's prices. And, and
I negotiated. I'm not going to front. Like, the first price he gave me, I was like, oh, I hit him back. I was like, hey, I respect you giving, for that price. I know who you are, but I'm small right now. Blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
Work with me. And he gave me a work with me price too. You know what I'm saying? Which is still kind of high, but at the same time, I respect it. I'm like, I can do that one, and I'll holler at you when I get it. It was that thing. He was like, that's what it is. And he was like, I'm going to make sure this is original, that it's something different from anything else I've done. He said he's going to give me my money's worth, long story short. So, you just got to reach out. You just can't be stealing folks' stuff. Like, if it's something that you really could spend and both of y'all can make some money together, just do what you got to do to make it happen.
Exactly. No, I appreciate that. Your wisdom is a blessing. And it's a blessing because the listening audience varies and has so many different fields that they participate in. And I've learned a lot this evening. And I knew that you would come on and I knew you would teach us. And I just appreciate, all that you have done so far to be able to share with us. And thank you for, your contributions and everything that you've got going on. And we really support you. Brothers and sisters, I need you to support this brother and what he has going on. And I also want you to be able to follow him and just everything that's up next for the Brandon Crenshaw. Tell everybody how they can reach out to you and get in touch with you and what's next.
Most definitely. I can be followed on Instagram at Brandon Scumhouse. Facebook, my name, Brandon Crenshaw. My business Instagram is 2200 Apparel Co. The next drop will be, I want to say, late June, maybe July. It's done as far as design is just going into production at this point. See, yeah, that's about it.
Okay, and so if anybody wants to collaborate with you, all they have to do is just reach out to your business Instagram.
As far as the brand?
Yes.
Yeah, we'll meet up. I go off of vibes. I go off of energy. Like, if I feel like it's a good idea, to collaborate with that particular person, but I'm always open to that. What I'm saying? Just hanging out and just seeing how we mesh together.
That's what's up. I appreciate that. Brothers and sisters, you have been listening live to the platform. My special guest is Brandon Crenshaw. Did you have a good time?
I did. Actually, I did. The questions were fun.
I'm so glad. I want to have you back on, right?
Yeah, we can do this. It can even be an in-person interview. I bring the camera crew. You know what I'm saying? We do it big.
Now, don't play with my life because, I have no problem collaborating. Yes, we're going to definitely have to hook this up and take it to a whole nother level. My brother, I really want to just allow me to take this minute to encourage you, because that's what we do here on the Sister Speak show. I really want to encourage you to continue to pursue your passions, continue to pursue your purpose. I, want to encourage you to continue to learn.
My purpose is to make people or men, and one day women as well, and kids, confident in themselves when they walk out the door. Man, my purpose is to help them feel good through my clothes, and even me, just hanging out with them. Like, that's the purpose, boosting the confidence.
Yes. Thank you for
I
that.
feel good. I want to put that in everybody.
Yes. And that's what it's about. That's what it's about. And it's about, really being concerned about the mental health of our brothers and sisters and making sure that they are maximizing their potential. And I just want to, like I was saying, I just want to encourage you to continue to do what you're doing and to touch lives. And we really look forward to hearing more from you, more about you, supporting your brand and just really just being, here for you as a village. So shout out to, also any shout outs that you want to give.
Shout out to my mom.
Yes, shout out, Mom.
Shout out to my dad.
Yes, shout out.
To my grandma Gougie. Shout out to Grandma Bolar. Shout out to, I miss everybody. I kind of am silly for just doing the name drops. But, shout out to the whole family, my mom's side, my dad's side. Shout out to my job, BioWorld. They taught me a lot. And, shout out to my girlfriend, Brittany.
Hi, Brittany.
Shout out to her mom.
Yes.
Alicia.
Yes.
What else? That's it.
Okay. Well, I want to say shout out to all of your family members. And also I want to say shout out to everybody who supports this brother, and I want to encourage you all to please continue to support him and what he does.
I'm tripping. Shout out to everybody who bought 2200. I put a huge dent into my inventory in just 30 days. Shout out to all who helped me do that fast. I didn't expect to sell out of the first collection that fast. I was kind of nervous. I didn't know if people would like it. Mm-hmm. But just shout out to everybody that supported. I love y'all so much. All right.
Okay, that's what's up. So listen, this is not going to be goodbye. I will send you a copy of this interview in your direct message. It has been of course, it has been an honor and a blessing to be able to converse with you on this Sunday evening. I'm glad we were able to make everything happen and everything work out. And you did have a good time on the Sister Speak show, so I'm glad about that. And I appreciate your energy. And with that being said, this isn't goodbye. This is just going to simply be, I will talk to you later.
All right, peace.
Okay, bye. My brothers and sisters, you must give a round of applause for this brother, Brandon Crenshaw. You are listening live to the Sister Speak show. I'm so excited about the platform and my special guest this evening, Brandon Crenshaw. I appreciate the fact that I am able to vibe out with dope, phenomenal, amazing brothers and sisters who are impacting the communities with their passions. You have been listening to the Sister Speak show, where contemporary meets vision, sound, and action, a talk show for great minds that create, inspire, and evolve, sister. Spiritual inspiration shared through the arts, sister. Spiritual inspiration shared through Ayana. My brothers and sisters, don't forget that you can check out 6 segments on the Sister Speak Show that consist of the platform, coming to the stage, the culture climate, the search effort, the tour, as well as the laugh line. With that being said, my brothers and sisters, you will also be able to listen to special guest interviews, live on location reports, in-studio interviews, and live performances. Don't forget that the special guests who will be on the Sister Speak Show are dynamic and impacting the communities with their passions. The Sister Speak Show is a talk show for great minds, and we are also here for your encouragement. We are here to uplift you. We are here to make the known known. We are a cultural renaissance platform that influences a climate that is conducive to who you are and who you should be. No reckless entertainment, just responsible listening nourishment. Don't forget, my brothers and sisters, that this is May Music, and we have dope independent music artists who will be featured every Friday at 7 o'clock p.m. on the tour, live on the Sister Speak Show. Next week, we have another weekend full of amazing interviews. And then the week after that, and then the week after that, stay tuned to the Sister Speak Show. We must be the flavor in your ear. We want to be a part of your listening shuffle and a part of your podcast preference. The Sister Speak Show. This is Ayana, the host, creator, and producer. I hope you have a wonderful week. I hope you press through. I hope you prosper. I hope you continue to pray and you continue to praise. You take care now, and I'll see you on the other side of this show the next time we go live. And don't forget to check back, because we do have some segments that will be on demand for you coming up. Take care, and you have a blessed week. I'll talk to you later.